Hi Shane, this is for you. This is a relationship spread using the Rider-Waite Tarot. And I'm having a lot of fun with this spread at the minute, so I decided to go with this again. Nice little one. This is a run up to the present moment. So, in the beginning here, very, very benign, very generous, very happy and very in sync with yourself here, but as you can see, there's one figure in this card, so therefore you're single here. So this denotes you being happy on your own. Now, I forgot to mention, all of these cards are upside down, so you're complicating things unnecessarily here. Things can actually be a lot more simple if you take the emotion out of it. So this time, you know, you're very generous there, you're receiving from the people around you as well, money-wise. I'm very at one with yourself and, you know, happy being on your own there. You're not needing anybody to come in. However, that must have grown thin, because here you've got two people out in the cold, which represents you being out in the cold. So at some stage here, I feel like there's a card missing. Let me just see. Right, okay. So, between these two cards, we have the Tower. Now, this represents a traumatic event for you. Something that happened that had a negative knock-on effect for you. Some sort of trauma. I feel this is involved with a female. That she may have been ill, or she may have done something to you that was negative, or you seen as negative, forcing you out of the comfortable space that you were in and the happy space, making you realise how alone you actually were. You weren't, of course, but that was how you felt. So this was being coerced, basically, being pushed out into the cold and made to feel alone and unsupported. The next card is, as I said, these two are out in the cold. So this represents you being out in the cold, not feeling at one with yourself, not feeling comfortable within the relationship, feeling a bit despondent, like you would never find anybody, knowing that brighter things were there in the future for you, but finding that very difficult to see. You've got a little friend there, as I mentioned before. However, I feel here that at this time you needed to look after yourself in a relationship sense. It was important to you know, protect yourself, or you felt that you needed to protect yourself. Facebook going mental there, yes. Hi, Joss. Okay, so we're coming up to the present time. What we have here is the Four of Pentacles. Now, this to me shows a crossroad. There's a decision that's got to be made, and there are a couple of offers. You've gone from nothing to several offers at once. So there's a lot on your plate at the minute. You know, these pentacles here can represent work, health, relationships, family, all coming in and sort of tying you up. So you have a lot on your plate there, and there's a lot of decisions that got to be made, but the one thing that's important here is that you need to let go within this relationship area. You've got to let go and release your fears around being alone that denoted in the previous card, because otherwise you're not going to be able to move forward, because you're holding on very tightly here, and I feel that that's not allowing room for growth. Okay, so we've got here the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. So this is clearly another man coming in. You are denoted by the King of Wands here. Quite social, quite regal, has class, is quite secure with his talents, and happy with the way, you know, your talents are, particularly in the psychic and spiritual area. I'm very drawn to the lizard there. And I feel that this may be a totem animal for you. Now, when you have this as your totem, there is a tendency to want to lie and lie in the sun and soak up the sun and feel lazy and relaxed. So I feel this is good, because in the past card you were seen as being very sort of holding on to things too tightly, being a bit stressed, being a bit uptight over everything, and really needing that release. So the lizard coming in here shows that you've come past that, and you're starting to relax a little bit more. However, the King of Wands likes to be in control, so this may have an impact. You want to control and you want to clearly define your boundaries with this gentleman that's just come in, which is the Knight of Wands. Now, this two is not a bad pairing whatsoever. The only thing to be aware of is that you're sitting still here. You want comfort, you want security. He wants adventure and excitement. He's going to move forward and come to you very quickly here. However, it can be a good thing, as I see you sort of climbing on the back of that horse and riding off. I think that he's going to be the one to motivate and bring you along. So he should be very decisive in what he wants. He should also be very clear. I feel he is very clear-cut. He's quite scientific, gentleman, actually. He does seem to have a pendant for spending, or a penchant for spending money, though, so maybe that's something you could enjoy together. But this looks like quite a good pairing. So moving forward, you also see two people, so this relationship is set to continue. You are represented as being very, very generous and showing time of charity, and he is represented as sowing oats and reaping the rewards of sowing those oats. So these two together suggest that, he might not be financially prosperous, whereas you are very giving with any finances that you have. So you may find yourself kind of propping him up financially in order to help him to lay down his financial and home foundations. I do see him move. I see you moving both in together. However, I feel that financially it will be lopsided. It will be more on your side than his. But he does have good intentions. He's a good homemaker. He likes to nurture people. He likes to see people grow. I feel that he can be quite sensitive, so there's a need for you to be careful about what you say. He gets fearful easily. So anything that you say to him is taken on. So just be careful with him and try to word things in such a way that won't hurt him. In return, I feel like he's very good for you. Even though he takes charge and he moves forward, you kind of need that. He's kind of secure for you in that sense. But he has a vicious temper, so just be aware of that. However, I feel that when he does get a bit angry, then maybe you could just withdraw rather than feeding into it, because he'll very easily fuel his fire. But however, this does look like a good match to me, especially when you have the outcome as the Sun, which is the child card. So it shows that there are future children here for you. I think I mentioned in a previous reading a little boy to come in, so this is showing that again. So this is really, really positive that opportunity is there for you. Very male energy coming in. He's very strong and secure, and he will support you. He might not be strong financially, but at the end of the day, money is just an object. So he's like I can't think of the word. He's basically going to be your security, an anchor, that's the word, for you to hold on to revolve around him almost. Just be careful that things don't get too revolved around him.